Hello everyone, welcome to NASCAR News Kid. The NASCAR Cup Series stopped at their second stop for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and it had everything. Pit penalties, bad days, great days, and we'll talk about all of it. Who looks good going into Bristol, results, recap, starting off with Stage 3, 36 or 36, plenty to get to. Let's just hop right into it. And I guess we start out in the start of Stage 3, like I just mentioned. Let's start out with Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, and others pitting from the back of the pack. This is at the end of Stage 2, and it's very important heading in later into the video. So remember, Keselowski, Briscoe, Bowman, Austin Dillon, and others pit. Wallace would lead the field to green, and it would not last long as there is a debris caution in Turn 3. Seemed like one of those braking markers in Turn 3. They had to pick that up, reinstall it. Took some time. Keselowski, Priest, Bowman, and others would come back down to pit. Keselowski had topped off yet again, got more fuel, so remember that for later in the video. Now, Wallace would lead the field to green. But Wallace leads the field to green and has a bad start. He got stuck in a gear and lost the lead to his owner, Denny Hamlin. Now, a little later in the lap, there's a caution due to Shane Van Gisbergen spinning in Turn 3. He just got loose. And Tyler Reddick, who was up on the outside of Shane while he was spinning, just barely avoided it. Remember, go back to Darlington a week ago. Reddick was on the high line, and Barry spun under him. By the way, Barry spun in this race again as well. We'll talk about that a little later. But Reddick yet again gets by what could have been a playoff tragedy, and looks good going into Bristol. We'll talk about that a little later as well. And then, like I said, Shane would spin a little later. Wallace, Larson, Cindric, Byron, and others would pit. Wallace would be in and out of the pits first. Larson with diffuser flap issues, keeping the car on the ground. It would not stay up, and that related to the restart issue where Wallace had Larson right behind him. Larson got bumped from the car behind him, and that, I guess, started that issue, and they made a second stop to fix that issue. Denny Hamlin would lead the field to green, and then the final wave of pit stops would happen. Chase Briscoe, James Small makes the call, come down lap 195 from 7th, and he would only take 2 tires. Now, Denny Hamlin pits on lap 196. A lap later, he would take 4, and Logano would pit lap 197. He would also take 4. Chastain, Elliott, Bell would pit lap 201, and Blaney and Bowman got a pit penalty, which kind of took him out of contention. We'll talk about where Blaney finished a little later, which was very good, what could have been for Bowman, and now Bowman's in a hole going into Bristol. We'll talk about that a little later, but Bowman, pit penalty, they would both pit lap 207. A caution in the middle of the pit cycle, lap 209, Ty Dillon, the brakes would just give up, and he would ride the wall to prevent a hard hit in Turn 1. At least that's what I think. Or just knew the brakes were going to fail and just rode that wall. That's kind of what I'm thinking, as he was already kind of aiming to go straight, because they kind of broke on the front stretch. So I would think he tried to ride the wall just to minimize the damage for that number 10 car. McDowell, Cindric, Wallace, Larson, others would pit. McDowell would be in first. SVG would be out first on 2 tires, and then Wallace would be out first on 4. And then Keselowski, Hamlin, Briscoe, Elliott, Bell, Buescher, Gibbs, Nemechek, Busch, and Blaney would all stay out. Now, remember, go back to the start of this video, I said it would be important that Keselowski, Priest, Bowman, and others from the back would pit. Keselowski here, after he topped off on fuel a little earlier in the stage, he's staying out. He thinks he can win this race. Now, tires were a big thing. Keselowski leads the field to green, and Hamlin takes the lead away, because he had, the best car, and he would run away with the win. Now, Chase Briscoe tried to get there, pitted with 2 tires. Remember, that's what even got him up there in second, up in the mix, even taking 2 tires, the call from James Small, so definitely could not get there. Blaney and Elliott didn't really have anything. Blaney was trying to pass Chase Elliott, did not have the time. Let's get right to results here as I'm talking about the results ahead of time. Denny Hamlin picks up the win, 5th win of the season, 200th win for Toyota, at least that's what I've heard, in the Cup Series, which is a huge milestone, and Denny Hamlin, probably the best driver, I'd say, arguably, gets them the win, led over 70 laps, pole to win. Remember, go back to Darlington, he won the pole, had a pit issue, had multiple pit issues, and wasn't his fault. Had a fast car, outstanding car, just could not execute. A week later, pole to victory, wins, unlike Darlington, and confirms his seat in the round of 12. Now, going into Bristol, he's going to be scary. Denny Hamlin, the best short track racer, arguably in the Cup Series right now. Him going into Bristol, confirmed into the round of 12, he could easily rack up another win. Chase Briscoe as well. I mean, he even said it in his post-race interview, finishing second. Third to second, by the way. Solid day, some bad pit stops, still rebounded. Now, that is a championship team, by the way. I forget, someone on NBC mentioned that team that can have bad pit stops and rebound is a championship team, and they rebounded to second. Now, it did have a little strategy in it, paying for 2 tires and all that, but still, Briscoe even said in his post-race interview he can have a shot to win it. I believe he can, and I'm wearing the Chase Briscoe shirts yet again, continuing, because I believe he can still win this championship. And it sounds crazy in his first year at JGR, but it's possible. Anyway, let's start getting off track with the Chase Briscoe stuff here. Chase Elliott, not bad, P3, first top 5 since Sonoma, so good for him. 4th for Ryan Blaney, got spun, rebounded with some strategy, like I said earlier in the video. Bowman pitted the same lap as him, but he got pit penalty 2nd week in a row for Bowman. Bad pit stop, sets him back from what could have been. But Blaney got spun. I forgot to mention, Blaney got spun by Kyle Larson. Larson kind of sent it in, thought he was going to get behind Blaney. We'll talk about that a little later. But nonetheless, P4, not that bad for the day they had. Penske continues to have good speed when the playoffs start up. Joey Logano, P5, continues his top 5 streak at Worldwide Tech. And almost had winning speed. Was there with that battle with Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe. He was right there, but just could not get there. And balance was off, as he mentioned after the race. Nemechek, another top 10, backs up the 4th place result in Darlington, ran P3 at some points, and it wasn't just for like a lap or 2, it was like for 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50 laps. I'd say he was up in the top 3, and was very quiet. NBC did not make noise of that, as far as I know, but still, great work for John Nemechek. Shout out to him. 7th for Christopher Bell, solid speed, great on new tires. That was probably his strength. Bad on the long run, so couldn't really do anything, but still solid. 8th for Bubba Wallace, disappointment. Led laps, though that's probably their only plus and stage points, but had a bad restart. They got stuck in a gear, and that set them back for a bad result. So, I mean, 8th isn't bad, but what could have been, you know? 9th for Buescher, solid day, very quiet. 10th for Gibbs, ran top 10 most of the day, so well-deserved result, I'd say. 11th for Byron, not great, not that bad, really quiet. Did not have winning speed nonetheless, but still 11th, not the best and not the worst. So great consistency continues for Byron. 12th for Kyle Larson, solid, got involved in that Blaney mishap there, led laps earlier in the race until strategy set them back. Remember, got the lead from Denny Hamlin in the early laps, like lap 6, lap 7, lap 8, but strategy definitely set them back. 13th for Ryan Preece was had solid speed, just was not there. 14th, quiet for Michael McDowell. Tried different things, which probably got them this higher finish of 14th, but still, not the best car they definitely had. 15th for Carson Hocevar, top 10 at one point. had top 5 speed at one point as well, but just solid overall. 15th is not that bad. Not something to complain about for sure. Some notables now. Tyler Reddick, 16th. Like I said, quiet, solid all day, and got out of what could have been a bad race. Avoided that Shane mishap there. 17th for Keselowski. Shout out to him. Tried something different, but just did not work out. Tires were too much of a difference maker, I guess, in this race. 18th for Austin Dillon. Bad car. They're battling balance issues, and strategy helped out late to get P18. P19 for playoff driver Austin Cindric. Also, my brother's 36-4-36 driver. Strategy helped him gain some positions. Definitely had newer tires that could kind of march his way a little bit farther forward. But I'm glad he didn't get farther forward, because 22nd Kyle Busch, my 36-36 pick, started 22nd, finished 22nd, which I thought was interesting when looking at the results, and spun out early, like lap 30-something, so not that great. Why did I believe in Kyle Busch? I don't know. 24th for Ross Chastain, qualified 4th, was solid. Saturdays had been their main focus. Sundays, they need to clean that up, especially when they're in the playoffs. Heading into Bristol, they look decent. We'll talk about that coming up in a few moments. 25th for Shane Van Gisbergen, qualified 18th. Definitely getting better on the ovals. Spun out. Strategy, they risked it, but did not really gain anything from it, as well as Alex Bowman tried something else and had another bad pit stop. What do we expect with this Kyle Busch, Shane Van Gisbergen, Bowman stuff in the playoffs? I mean, they're just not there. We believe in them, but they're not there. And 36th for Josh Berry, crashed early before the end of stage 1. Just was not great for him. Now let's talk about the cutoff heading into Bristol. Denny Hamlin is advanced 22nd for Briscoe. He has also advanced. Now for the points look heading in. No one is confirmed into the round of 12. We'll probably confirm someone at the end of stage 1 in Bristol. But 3rd, Larson plus 60. 4th, Wallace plus 50. 5th, Blaney plus 42. 6th, Byron plus 39. 7th for Tyler Reddick plus 37. Bell, 8th plus 32. 9th, Chase Elliott plus 28. Not 22nd. 28. 10th for Joey Logano plus 21. 11th for Chastain plus 19. And 12th for Austin Cindric plus 11. Now on the flip side of the cut, Austin Dillon, 13th, got some didn't get stage points. Or maybe they did, I forget, strategy all over the place. But still, not the worst it could have been with an ill-handling race car. Minus 11 is not that bad. If they can survive the carnage which they didn't in the past when they made the round, or they were in the playoffs in 2022, they had issues and RCR and stuff. Yeah, we get that. But minus 11, not that bad. If they survive Bristol, I think they could have a real shot, because someone's going to have issues, that's for sure. 14th for Shane Van Gisbergen. Also, if they could survive Bristol, they can advance. And then round of 12, Charlotte Roval. Round of 8, Talladega. Then they're in the championship 4. I don't know, I'm going crazy. But he's minus 15. 15th for Bowman, minus 35. Probably a must-win, unless someone has horrible issues. Speaking of horrible issues, first 2 races of the playoffs, Josh Berry 16th, minus 45, probably a must-win, unless someone has issues. Like I said, Bowman, Berry can't bank on someone having issues, probably needs to go in there with the mindset of they need to win, so that will definitely be interesting. Now for some early events here, mostly cautions here. There was a caution lap 27, Busch spun off of turn 2. Caution lap 36, Josh Berry's spin crashed. There was contact with Chase Elliott. He did apologize. I do have to mention that. Also, another apology was made lap 76. Ty Dillon spins off of turn 2 with his brother making contact. Austin Dillon, that being. Caution lap 131 or lap 135 with 6 to go in stage 2. Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson made contact. Larson slid up, thought he was going to be able to slide behind Blaney, but made contact and spun Blaney out, which was unfortunate for Blaney. There was a caution lap 150, debris in turn 3. Caution lap 156, SVG would spin in turn 3, and he just got loose and spun. And then the last caution by Cause, lap 208, Ty Dillon brake issue, rides the wall in turn 1 to prevent damage. And now, the greatest part of the video, in many of your opinions, 36 for 36, me, I gained 15 points with Kyle Busch, 15 points, not 50. And my brother gains 18 points with Austin Cindric. So, final standings heading into Bristol after Worldwide Tech. I think if I'm going to win this 36 or 36 championship, I need to start the uphill battle now. I am 108 points back. I have 611 points, and my brother has 719. So, 108 points is a big gap, but I believe in myself. I think I can still win. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If you're new to NASCAR, new to the channel, and you like NASCAR, you are in the right place. You should consider subscribing. If you liked this video, stay to the end. I thank you, and I thank all you channel subscribers and supporters. You guys are the best. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you before Bristol. Bye, everyone.